but it's underneath the forearm because the arm's too stiff. Watch the difference. You see that there, guys? It really is a pivot point that everything works around. You know, I feel like the inside of my bicep pushes up against my pec. A lot of people have a gap between their body and that right elbow. Cash is getting that right elbow ahead of him. That's what he needs to feel. And the upper body going forward. I just do that always in case it's good, you know. Okay, so we're gonna work on the takeaway a little bit, okay? Club gets a little underneath that forearm there. Now, the backswing, an easy one, super easy. And I kind of like doing it in a place where, you know, you're not even being affected. Your swing's not being affected by the stick. It's just there visually. And what I mean by that is, Kev, come around the front here, and then I'm going to have you come around the back to show our viewers what we're doing here. One of the most simple ways to work on swing plane, you guys, say you have somebody who's too steep, okay?
Yeah.
Well, here's the ball, right? You could put this right on top of it right here. So what does it force them to do? Stay underneath, okay? Say you have somebody who's too inside. Well, what do? Put it on the inside of the ball, keeps them outside. What about somebody who's dropping under the plane? Well, it helps them stay on top of it, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this behind you at the angle of the shaft, right? At the angle of the shaft, match it, okay? But we're gonna put it far enough behind you, about 3 feet behind you. Why 3 feet? 3 feet because, you know what? It might be just far enough away to affect the takeaway because it's wider, but it's so narrow on the way down compared to the width on the way back that you would actually never sniff it on the way down. I don't like people actually having it there to where they can actually hit it, because then they tend to overdo the problem because they're so scared of hitting it. So once again, we're gonna split the difference between the golf ball and the feet. So right in line with this yellow line here. Go far enough behind you to where it's in your vision, but it's not gonna actually mess with you. That right there, Kev, now go around the other side here. That's gonna be just enough for Cash as a visual to wanna stay more up in front right here, and then more on top on the way down. So you guys can see more up and then down, right? So that'll be a great, great, great visual right there. Now, show me the rehearsal. Club up a little bit more in the beginning. Exactly, and then right down on top of it a little bit more on the way down, right? Hit one real soft like that. Awesome, good. Oh yeah, yes, yeah, I like that right there. Arms and hands get in front, look at the right elbow. See, I like that. That's a big thing for people here. A lot of people have a gap between their body and that right elbow. Cash is getting that right elbow ahead of him. That's what he needs to feel. And the upper body going forward, that's his feeling. That's what he needs, okay? Roll the right elbow plays in the swing, in the trail arm for our viewer, you know, the lefties out there. It's so incredibly important. If I had every single golfer on this range just take their left arm and go like this, it's amazing how similar we all look. Everybody arrives with forward shaft lean, beautiful extension. You know, a lot of people get it to a nice textbook position at the top as well. And then you put the trail arm on, and everybody's swing changes. Everyone, right? It'll all look different. Why? Because everybody works it in different positions. This is a tough arm to take the club back with, right? So the one thing that is important to understand about this elbow, it really is a pivot point that everything works around. You know, I feel like the inside of my bicep pushes up against my pec, and it just stays there for the most part throughout the swing. Now look what that does. I mean, of course it's gonna have some give, but especially in the takeaway, it stays there. It stays there. To the top, it tries to stay there, and you can see that's what puts it in a textbook spot. So something really important here. 2 checkpoints I've created for my players recently that's really helped them. At the halfway back position, seeing that right elbow directly underneath their right shoulder, seeing it more underneath their hands at the top. What we typically see is it backed up behind the shoulder and it backed up away from the hands. That's somebody who's disconnecting their arms from their body is going to have to play catch up on the way down. So, you know, and how we get there, we talk about the giving blood position. Giving blood, shaking hands, and holding a tray. Well, how that's possible is through having that good setup with that arm rotated properly, that elbow just stays right here and the forearm itself goes. That's what keeps this soft. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, so sometimes people will give blood and they're very stiff. Well, that's a problem too, because now it's gonna just move away from you. No, it's soft. And the forearm is going a little bit, watch this, without the upper part of my arm really even moving and detaching from my body. width is still remained because my left arm and my hands are still remaining the same distance from the center of my body. They're not getting closer because my body's turning. Look at that. The width is still there, right? But I'm able to have that leverage now because my right arm is helping that club get into that set position. Just as much as my left is pushing down and hinging it, my right is going thumbs up with that soft forearm, just like that, okay? And once I'm there, I can turn to the top and my arm is more in front of my body. So it makes it easier then to get it back in front of you on the way through, okay? Oh my God. How much better was that golf swing right there? We're excited to announce that Porzak Golf's Complete Game Clinic is headed to the East Coast. We're going to be in beautiful Stonington, Connecticut at Lake of Isles Golf Club, one of the best public golf courses in the United States of America. Accommodations are going to be at Foxwoods Resort and Casino. We have two two-day clinics that are going to be first class from top to bottom and provide a golf experience unlike any other. Spots are going to fill up fast, so reserve yours today. We'll see you in Connecticut. It was letting the right arm relax and the club hinge on plane. As a result, that elbow stayed more in and in front of his body. He then turned to the top without manipulating anything. And because the elbow's in a better position now, he then worked it back in front of him, and the elbow and the arms got more in front of the side of his body. So it then allowed everything to then rotate through and not back up to the, behind you. So that was fantastic, dude. Yeah. All right, guys, look how much better this is. There it is, made possible from the softer arm. Look at this, elbow underneath shoulder, elbow underneath hands. Yeah. Sweet. Thanks for being textbook for us here. And then watch this, you guys. Arms back in front of the body, right elbow getting in front of right pocket. Look at the club never drop, bud. Straight down the plane, and there we go, buddy. Like we talked about today. Soft right elbow, club hinging on top. Keep the elbow in front. Soft doesn't mean soft like it's giving away like this. It's still staying in here. It just means that I'm letting this arm go like that and not just being stiff, right? Stiff, look what it does, guys. Look at the difference. I'm supporting that club, all right? This takeaway. Why can the club still be pointed at the ball, but be underneath the forearm? Great question. When the right elbow's too stiff. Do you see this? That's a look a lot of people get right there. Look at this, Kev. Where the butt of the club's still pointed at the golf ball, but it's underneath the forearm because the arm's too stiff. Watch the difference. You see that there, guys? So letting your right arm relax a little bit, bud, and actually feel like you're in that giving blood position, and then allowing yourself to shake hands a little more relaxed like this. You're just keeping your elbow right here, and watch my forearm. The forearm goes. It's not like that, right? So when I'm in this position, I'm holding my right elbow in place. I'm letting the club hinge up the plane. And then from there, I turn to the top. My elbow's already more in front of my body. And then I can race it ahead of my body on the way through. And that will never let it drop. And then my right shoulder can move towards the target through the golf ball, okay? Show me that. All right, so hey, in your words, run me through it here. Here's what, in my opinion, you have 1, 2, 3. You have 1, 2, 3. Mm-hmm. What is that to you?
Yeah, like this feeling is all like keeping it in, and I'm just trying to, obviously for me it stiffens out, so I'm really trying to feel just it kind of staying in.
And that makes it softer, right?
Yeah, totally. Good. And that's just what makes it like, just keeps it in and just kind of feels more connected, I guess is the right word.
Here's what it is. It's softening this right arm and allowing it to break, but really keeping it in the same spot on the body. Not softening it to the point where it backs up behind the seam. Just softening it and keeping it right there in front of the body. Look, it's always there, okay? As we're doing that, we're conscious of the club just hinging up, right? We've already worked hard on that, so we know this feeling. From here, we turn to the top with connection, easy. Next part, transition theme. Arms and hands are getting back in front of you. It feels like they're actually going this way a little bit, right? Back in front of you. Club's still shallow and on plane. It's just more on top of it than it was.
Yeah.
Now from here, slot to impact. Let it go. Let the nose go, let the right shoulder go. Boom, right to the target, right? There it is, buddy.
Yeah.
At Porzak Golf, we take a lot of pride in having developed some of the best and most consistent golf swings on the planet. We do this through simplicity. Our Full Swing Masterclass will take you on a step-by-step, easy to understand process on how to get your golf swing better than ever. Join the many before you who've utilized our Full Swing Masterclass to take their games to the next level and beyond.